Alright guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about if the Oklahoma City Thunder are finally figuring it out and talk about some of the good things and some of the bad things that they're actually doing right now. So the Oklahoma City Thunder have arrived. Everything that we've been waiting for is finally answered because of one game, because Russell Westbrook hits the game winner. Is that right? Alright, well, I'm here to kind of smooth away that absurd absurd statement, saying that just that one game, it just seems like in these last couple games, people are kind of been going crazy saying that the Thunder have finally figured it out. And I think they have, but in a different aspect, I don't think they might not be as good as what everybody thinks. Now, as I want to get started, just want to lay down some ground. As you guys know, they have won their third straight game. They're now 17 and 15. They are that fifth seed in that Western Conference. Last night, they were led by Paul George, who had 17 points, 5 rebounds. Carmelo Anthony, who had 24 points, who made 7 out of 12 threes. And Russell Westbrook, who had 30 points, 7 rebounds, 15 assists, and a game-winning three with 1.7 seconds left. Um, So really, Russell Westbrook has been carrying this team, and Paul George has actually came out and said that Russell Westbrook is the leader of the team, and he has all faith in the world that Russell Westbrook will do what he needs to do to get the job done. So first, I'm going to start out with the good things that we see from this Oklahoma City Thunder team. They are first in steals with 10 per game, third in defensive efficiency, and second in offensive rebounding. This is huge because this is led by Steven Adams, who has the top offensive rebounding rate in the whole league. Now, people want to go crazy, because the Oklahoma City Thunder are 9 and 3 in their last 12 games. They've shown great spurts in what they can do, and it's actually very good that they are one of the best teams in plus minus in losses, which actually shows that they're contending in almost all their games that they lose. And in addition, over those last 12 games, they are fourth in field goal attempts, fourth most in field goal attempts, and third in rebounding in those last 12 games, which is actually helping them maintain control of the ball. Now, here are some bad things going on with the Thunder right now, in that they are 27th in true shooting percentage, which shows that they're taking ill-advised shots and they're just not making them. They're just chucking up as much as they can, seeing what sticks. And part of this could be because of Carmelo or Russell Westbrook, with his crazy nature to shoot the ball almost every time he gets it, try and drive to the rim and attack, force a foul. But that's usually a very good indication on how a team is doing, and that just kind of shows why they are that middle of the pack team. Next, they have 26 in assists per game, which really puts a damper on some of Russell Westbrook's numbers, because you kind of think, he's putting up these like 10 assists per game numbers, but he is kind of the only one showing to share the ball. But in reality, the ball could just be sticking in his hands, and then he could just be dishing it out for that last second assist, which could invalidate his numbers. Now, another bad thing that they have is a very, very bad habit, which is a team of two halves, which means in the first half, they are one of the top teams in the league in that aspect. Next, if you go to that second half, they are one of the worst second half teams in plus minus in the whole league, which is huge, considering their third quarter is absolutely awful, and then they have to use their fourth quarter to try and come back and either gather that lead or try and maintain what they have left of that lead. And finally, another bad thing that they have for them is their bench. And their bench is actually 28th in minutes per game. So as you can see, they're logging a lot of those minutes to those starters, such as Westbrook, Adams, Carmelo, Paul George, Roberson. Just last game, Hustis was the only guy who is over 14 minutes a game that got minutes off the bench. And in addition to that, which kind of comes hand in hand, is that they're 28th in points per game off the bench. Now, like I said before, the Thunder have figured it out. They have figured to put the keys in Russell Westbrook's hands, even though they've never really been out of them, and let him do his thing and everybody else follows. And Paul George has understood that. I think Carmelo's slowly starting to realize that. Melo's starting to try and transition into his little pull-up game again, trying to get those three-pointers going. Along with Paul George, I think Paul George knows that he needs to kind of take that secondary role, and he is totally accepting it. At least that's what he says right now. Um, but since they have figured it out, I believe that their ceiling really isn't that high. As you look at this Eastern Conference, you have, or the Western Conference, excuse me, you have the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Warriors, who I believe are teams that are better than this Thunder team. And you looked at it at the beginning of the year and you think, I think that the big three with Melo, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook really is a very good thing and can actually lead them to maybe beat the Warriors. But you look at it now and you just think, man, Melo, like he looks like he's really struggling out there on defense. And I don't think this, but some people think that Paul George is really struggling just to find himself. And I think Paul George is just trying to find his footing on this new team, and I don't think that's anything to worry about. But yeah, still, this ageless Spurs team, I think, is still better than them. Still got Pop. Uh, Still has got great pieces off the bench, and they're showing without even Kawhi Leonard that they are one of the best teams in the NBA. And the Rockets, they've lost their last two games uh, with Harden's 51, but they're still showing that they're sticking to what their roots are, and they're trying to outshoot the other teams. And you know the Thunder are playing very good defense, holding teams to low points per game, but it's not, you can only do that for a certain time until you face a great shooting team like the Rockets. And in addition to that, you have the Warriors, who are also one of the top offense and defensive teams, which just puts even more pressure and more hardship on that Thunder team.
Westbrook scoring up at the three-point line. He scores! Atlanta's out of timeouts. The desperation.
All right, guys, make sure you guys are liking this video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you guys tell other people about me. Make sure you guys are commenting. And make sure you guys watch some NBA games tonight. You guys have a great day.